Picture this, the year is 1999, the place is Kargil, a remote mountainous region in the northernmost part of India. Kargil, a strategically significant locale, was at the heart of a brewing storm, a storm of geopolitical tensions that would soon escalate into a full-blown conflict. It was a time of unease, a time when the long-standing rivalry between two nations threatened to erupt once more. As the winter of 1999 retreated, melting the snow and ice, it revealed an alarming reality. Pakistani troops and militants, taking advantage of the harsh winter conditions, had infiltrated deep into the Indian side of the line of control. This audacious move saw them seizing control of key vantage points in the Kargil region. Now, why, you might ask, was Kargil of such strategic importance? Nestled among towering peaks, Kargil offered a bird's-eye view of the key highways connecting India and Ladakh. In the wrong hands, it could effectively cut off India's access to this crucial region, a prospect that India could ill afford. This stealthy infiltration was not just a blatant violation of the bilateral agreement of 1972, known as the Simla Agreement, where both countries agreed to respect the line of control. It was a carefully calculated move designed to alter the status quo, but the infiltrators had underestimated the resilience and the resolve of the Indian forces. As the Indian Army's patrol stumbled upon these infiltrations, they were taken aback, but not for long. They knew they had to act, and act decisively. The nation's sovereignty was under threat, its territorial integrity at stake. The situation was grave, the stakes were high, but the spirit of the Indian Army was higher. As the news of the infiltration reached the top echelons of the Indian military, plans were swiftly put into action. The Indian forces were ready to counter this audacious move, ready to defend their motherland. The stage was set, the players in position, and the Indian Army, with a steely resolve in their eyes and an unshakable belief in their hearts, was ready. This was the prelude to Operation Vijay. On the morning of May 26th, the Indian Air Force initiated the first phase of Operation Vijay. The sky was awash with the roar of jet engines as the Indian Air Force took to the skies. Their mission, to dislodge the enemy entrenched in the treacherous high-altitude terrain of Kargil. The initial airstrikes were a critical part of the operation. The pilots faced a daunting task. They had to fly in an environment that was as hostile as the enemy itself. The high altitude meant thinner air, which made the aircraft harder to maneuver. The rugged terrain provided the enemy with natural fortifications, but the Indian Air Force was relentless. Flying their MiG-21S and Mirage 2000s, the pilots rained down a storm of steel on the enemy positions. Despite the challenges, they pressed on, their determination unwavering. The airstrikes were not just about causing physical damage to the enemy. They were a demonstration of India's resolve to protect its sovereignty. While the Air Force dominated the skies, the Indian ground forces began their grueling march towards the enemy. The soldiers were faced with a formidable task. The enemy was well entrenched and had the advantage of the high ground, but the Indian soldiers were undaunted. They climbed the rugged terrain, braving inclement weather and enemy fire. Their courage was fueled by a single thought: to reclaim the land that was rightfully theirs. They fought valiantly, recapturing key positions one by one. Each victory, no matter how small, was a step closer to their ultimate goal. The battle was fierce, the conditions were harsh, and the stakes were high. But the Indian forces pressed on. They adapted, they persevered, and they overcame. Each soldier, each pilot, played a crucial part in this epic saga of bravery and determination. Despite the obstacles, the Indian forces were undeterred. Their objective was clear: reclaim what was rightfully theirs. And so, the battle raged on, marking the beginning of a conflict that would test the mettle of the Indian armed forces like never before. By the end of June, the Indian forces had managed to regain control of key areas. But the battle was far from over. As the summer sun beat down on the rugged terrain of Kargil, the brave Indian soldiers were faced with a daunting task. Their target, Tiger Hill, a strategic vantage point that had fallen into enemy hands early in the conflict. The capture of this hill was pivotal, not just for the geographical advantage it provided, but also for the morale boost it would give to the Indian troops. While the task was difficult, the spirit of the Indian soldiers was indomitable. They knew the significance of their mission. Tiger Hill was not just a piece of land, it was a symbol of their nation's sovereignty, a symbol of their resolve, and a symbol of the sacrifices made by their brothers in arms. The battle for Tiger Hill was fierce, the enemy was well entrenched, and the terrain was treacherous. But the Indian soldiers, undeterred by the odds stacked against them, fought on with unwavering determination. They scaled steep cliffs under heavy enemy fire, braved the harsh weather conditions, and faced the enemy with unparalleled courage. The Indian Army's capture of Tiger Hill was a testament to their resilience and bravery. It was a moment of triumph, not just for the soldiers who fought the battle, but for the entire nation. The sight of the tricolor flying high on Tiger Hill filled the hearts of millions of Indians with pride and joy. But the capture of Tiger Hill was more than just a moment of triumph. It marked a significant turning point in Operation Vijay. With this victory, the Indian forces had not only regained a strategic advantage, but they had also sent a clear message to the enemy. India would not back down, India would not be defeated. With the capture of Tiger Hill, the tide was beginning to turn in India's favor. After 2 months of intense fighting, Operation Vijay was nearing its end. The might of the Indian forces was unyielding, their spirit indomitable. The final stages of this operation were a testament to their perseverance and valor. In the face of adversity, the Indian forces remained resolute. The infiltrators, who had once seemed invincible upon the rugged terrains of Kargil, were now being pushed back. The Indian Army, Air Force and Navy had united with a singular goal: to reclaim their homeland. The Indian forces, with their unyielding determination, began to regain control over the Kargil region. The enemy was retreating. The Indian soldiers, undeterred by the harsh climate and treacherous terrain, pressed on. They were relentless in their pursuit, forcing the infiltrators to withdraw from the once besieged region. Each reclaimed peak was a symbol of victory, a testament to the courage of the Indian forces. The soldiers fought with tenacity and grit, their hearts filled with a burning passion for their motherland. Their bravery was unparalleled, their sacrifices unforgettable. The final stages of Operation Vijay were marked by intense combat. The Indian forces, however, stood their ground. Their strategic planning, superior training, and unwavering courage ensured their victory. They fought for every inch of their sacred land, driving the infiltrators back, reclaiming their territory, and restoring peace to their homeland. The culmination of Operation Vijay was a moment of immense pride and relief. The Indian forces had succeeded in their mission. Against all odds, they had pushed back the infiltrators and regained control of Kargil. The victory was not just a military triumph, but a testament to the indomitable spirit of the Indian forces. On July 26, 1999, Operation Vijay was declared a success. The Indian forces had triumphed. Their bravery and valor will forever be inscribed in the annals of history, a reminder of their unwavering commitment to protect their motherland. The conclusion of Operation Vijay was not just a military victory, but a beacon of hope, a testament to the power of unity, courage, and determination. Operation Vijay was not just a military operation, it was a testament to the bravery, determination, and sacrifice of the Indian forces. What does this operation signify in the grand tapestry of the India-Pakistan conflict? It's more than mere lines on a strategic map or a military maneuver. It's a story of national pride, of courage under fire, and of an unyielding commitment to protect the motherland. Operation Vijay marked a pivotal moment in the ongoing India-Pakistan conflict. It was a clear demonstration of India's resolve to protect its territorial integrity. The operation sent a strong message to the world, and especially to those who threatened India's sovereignty, that India would not hesitate to stand up to aggression. The success of Operation Vijay had far-reaching implications for India's national security. It fortified India's control over a strategically crucial territory, thereby strengthening the nation's overall defense architecture. The operation also showcased India's military capabilities, reinforcing its position as a formidable defense power in the region. On the international front, Operation Vijay had significant implications. It bolstered India's standing among the global community as a nation capable of defending its interests. The operation, while primarily a military endeavor, also had diplomatic undertones. It compelled the international community to acknowledge the challenges India faced in its neighborhood and underscored the need for a peaceful resolution to the India-Pakistan conflict. The operation also stirred a sense of national pride and unity within the country. It highlighted the valor and sacrifice of the Indian forces, reinforcing the nation's faith in its protectors. Stories of heroism from the battlefield resonated with every Indian, instilling a deep sense of respect and gratitude for the men in uniform. Operation Vijay was a shining example of India's military prowess and the indomitable spirit of its soldiers. It was a victory for India, for peace, and for the ideals that the country